up? What's up? What's up? What's cracking? What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? What's poppin'? What's up, y'all? What's cracking? How you guys doing? What's poppin', everybody? We gonna get it cracking. Trying to figure out the best time that works for me as well as the community. And we're gonna run into some issues, right? We'll talk about that a little bit later. We're gonna run into some conflicts and things like that. So you can't always avoid it. I'm trying to, but we support the community, we support each other. So just trying to see what's the best way, I guess, what's the best approach to handle it. So let's see. How was everybody's weekend? Let me know. What's cracking, y'all? How you guys doing? What's side? What up, Mr. Riley? How you doing? I don't even know how to do all of that, but I know how to say what's side, and you know how we do. What's cracking? James, you always come through on Facebook. Come through to YouTube. That's where it's at. The link is in the description. We gonna have fun, but at least I get to see who you are. So that's all good. Have you been cycling, James? I need to get back to cycling. The weather has been garbage. What's poppin'? Oh, this changed it to a different scene. Here you go. I'm trying to use this scene. What's cracking, y'all? How you doing? Happy Sunday evening to all of you guys. Well, at least it's Sunday evening out here by me. Where James is at, let me just fix this a little bit, where James is at on the West Coast and Mr. Paul Duncan on the West Coast. So if it's 7 o'clock here, that means it is still bright and sunny, and it's 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Whatever, y'all. That's how I feel about all of y'all in the West Coast. You're on your Peloton riding daily. Hey, all right, cool. Come through to YouTube. That's what's up. That is what's up. I've been slacking on my personal, my smart trainer that's over there. Let me get this cable out of the way. That's the mic is in the shot. So can we hide? There you go. Trying to figure that out. Anyway, Mr. Carlos Martinez, que lo que, manito? What's going on? Miss your stream, talking to clients on a Sunday evening. Well, that is all right. Yeah. Thank you for coming through and showing support, and have a good night talking to clients. It's all good. I appreciate you. Brother of a certain age, Sunday evening in Connecticut. What's cracking? So in Connecticut, how cold is it out there? What part of Connecticut are you from? My girlfriend lives in Connecticut. She's in Willimantic, and it's always so cold out there. She's right by, like, on the tip of the borderline by Rhode Island at the edge, and it's like 10 degrees colder out there in Willimantic than what it is out here in Philly. I just got some food delivered. Grown-ups room. There you go. That has to be Paul. Right. Come to the grown-ups room. Come on over and make it happen. Exactly. I just got some food delivered that I'll eat after the stream. I wanted to make sure I had some food, but I opened the door for Uber Eats, and it's already what is it, like 60 degrees? Do I have a watch face? It does. I don't have a watch face that tells me the temperature. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be 70 degrees out here in Philly. And I thought about taking a personal day. There you go. What's cracking? What's cracking? Thank you for coming through to YouTube. I did think about taking a personal day tomorrow because I want to ride without having to rush to get back. I want to ride with like, get a good amount of miles, at least 30 miles. If I'm taking my time and I'm relaxing and enjoying the scenery and stuff like that, I can probably do 30 miles in about 3 hours. And that's just breaks and pictures and just, chilling. But nice and sunny. You know what? Whatever. That's how I feel about that. It was raining all day today, but tomorrow and on Tuesday, it's supposed to be in the 70s. But one of the 2 days, it's supposed to be raining. So it's shot, right? It's not like you can hang out. But what I was saying was during the countdown is I'm trying to figure out a good time for me. And I switched up the live stream. Normally I was doing it on Saturdays at between 8 and 9-ish Saturday evenings. But a lot of people, like on Saturdays, especially when it gets nicer for us on the East Coast, Saturdays is the chill day. It's the hangout day. So it was just interfering with a lot of schedules. It was interfering with a lot of time. So it wasn't like really working out. So I was like, well, how can let's do some timing. I did put a poll in the community. I gave some options because I'm okay with streaming in the middle of the week. One of the options was to keep it for Saturdays. One of the options was for Sundays at 7 p.m. And then another option was, the two more options was like throughout the week or whatever. But the majority, or all of the 8 people that voted, 50% of them, so 4 people at least gave me feedback and said that today works. But then today and this time, and then what I realized for today and this time was that Michelle has her stream from LBC Branding at the same exact time. And then I just got the notification that DJ Strict and Brant Collins have Doc Rock and Rob Balabasas on their stream that's going on at 7 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, man. So like we're spreading the community thin with the different streams and everything that's going on. And so, it's like, oh, well, what are we doing? And that's going to happen, right? Like as more of us in our communities, we start to, I was messaging Michelle right before our live streams started just now, that as more of us start to live stream and as more of us start to really get a consistent workflow, we're going to overlap. That's definitely a thing. And I recognize that that's a thing, that we're going to overlap with one another. It sucks because then for some of you guys, you support multiple of the members in the community. So it's like, well, what stream do I go to, or do I go back and forth between the two, right? Because you guys are all super amazing with supporting us. But I'm like, man, I knew about Michelle's stream and I totally didn't realize about the Stro stream. And I might just leave it on Sundays. I might push it a little bit. I might push it back maybe to 8 o'clock, so an hour back. Because Michelle has been doing her stream consistently at 7. So 7, I don't mind pushing it back at least an hour. That's still a decent time for me. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And even if we have a long stream for an hour and a half, right? I'm still getting off between 9:30 and 10 o'clock if it goes long, which is a decent time. It's just me in the house here, me and my dogs, because my girlfriend is in Connecticut. But yeah. So that's one of the things. And then brother of a certain age said, it's cold today. Nice day in Bridgeport. Willimantic is a bit more than an hour. Yeah. Listen, when I go over there, because I'm in Philly, when I drive up there, it is without traffic 3.5 hours if I obey the speed limits, which I don't always obey the speed limits. But it's about 3.5 hours if I obey the speed limits. And if there's traffic, I think when Angie was coming, Angie came down to see me for Thanksgiving, which, you should never travel. You got to leave days before, but for like, what was it? Wednesday or Tuesday before Thanksgiving. It took her 6 hours. It was insane. She was so annoyed by the time that she got to my house. I was like, all right, I had a drink ready for her. I had dinner ready. I was like, okay, just relax. I'll unpack the car. Here's your drink. Just take it easy. because that commute is no joke. Don't speed, take your time. I know. See, but the problem is that I'm a car girl as well. And I just, when you're driving and it's a nice, smooth ride and you have a good, powerful machine behind you, it's hard not to speed, but I know I need to be responsible. And that's all we're going to say on that topic before I incriminate myself anymore or I get yelled at by you guys some more. So, but I try to be good on the road. I try. So anyway, so we're still trying to figure out the best timing for us. Hey girl, I've been meaning to text you. And you know, that's such a loaded thing when people are like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to text you. Were you really meaning to text me? Because if you were meaning to text me, you would have just went ahead and text me, right? You see, look, I'm just yelling at myself now. Anyway, but we have to catch up. We got to schedule some time. I am going to text you this week. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Yes, I miss you. Miss you too. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. And I will text you this week. You have a lead foot as well. Yeah, man. Right. It's just, and like I said, you're driving a nice car if the roads are open, especially when the weather gets nice, right? When the weather gets nice and you got the windows down just a little bit. I have a BMW X1 and it has the panoramic roof. So on a nice day, open the panoramic roof all the way. Man, I don't know how to act. I'd be chilling. But like I said, anyway, I say I've been meaning to text you all the time. I get it, right? It's just, those are good intentions, right? Just know that you're in my heart and in my mind, and I have the best of intentions, and you're with me in spirit. See, and we get each other, and that's all it is, right? Anyway, so I did another post today, and a brother of a certain age, he chimed in on the community tab. I was listening to Mr. Camera Junkie's stream last night, and Mr. Camera Junkie has done 60 consecutive weeks of live streaming on Saturdays. So Mr. Camera Junkie's live streams on Saturdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yesterday his stream, it was over the 60th week that he has live streamed. And first of all, that's a huge feat, right? 60 weeks, that's over a year worth of consecutively streaming from week to week, right? So he has streamed every single week for over a year now, and that was very inspiring. And then I started thinking, and you see, I know that Gretchen from the Ecamm group, and she's in Let's Get Live and stuff like that. She just finished doing 100 days of live streaming. I know that Chris Wood did 100 days of live streaming. So there were a few people. And so I said to myself, do I want to be crazy? And do I want to do 100 days of live streaming? I'm torn. So a part of me feels like I want to do 100 days of live streaming for a few different reasons. The biggest reason is to challenge myself. It wouldn't be anything like what we're doing, on my weekly stream. So I would still continue my weekly streams, whatever day and time I keep it at. That would be the normal. But then I would pick probably an earlier time, the same day during the week, the same time rather, and just stream for maybe anywhere from 15 minutes to no more than a half an hour. But if you're streaming every day for 30 minutes, that's a lot, right? When it's 100 days in a row, that is a lot. So I am a little intimidated. But then with my personality, and I don't know if Carlos is still here yet. Carlos might have gone already. And maybe it's better that he's gone if he's gone. Because then it will, I don't need him psychoanalyzing me. But this is why I say this, right? Because so I get the anxiety and it's the little bit of that fear of, man, 100 days straight for 15 to 30 minutes. That's a lot of things to talk about on a daily basis. Eventually, I feel like I'll run out of time, right? Or run out of things to say, not run out of time. I'll run out of things to say. But then the psycho person in me thinks, well, the challenge, if you feel intimidated, hold on. Game on, right? That's it. Game on. Because if now I feel like, oh, can't nobody, and even it's for myself. So if I have that thing, and this is how I like to say I'm successful. This is why I feel like I'm successful, because if it's something that puts me in that mind frame of, I don't know, can you really do it? That I start to doubt myself, then it's like that inner competitor in me is like, oh, hell no, you're going to do it. So now I'm having this whole, what is it? Bad guy, good guy conversation, one on my shoulder, that it's like, no, India, don't commit, don't put yourself out there. And then it's like, no, you better commit and put yourself out there, because you can do this. What the hell are you afraid of? What's your anxiety about? So that's where I'm at right now. And tipping the scales, I'll be honest with you, the scale right now that we're at is that I'm probably going to do the 100 days of streaming. Paul says that Gretchen will do her 109th. So she continued, right? So I know that she had the goal of doing the 100 days of streaming. She has continued, and she's doing 109 daily streams tonight. That is huge. That is impressive, right? JP High Tech, what's cracking, brother? How you doing today? What's poppin'? So 109, that's a lot. And then Paul, of course, you have do I not? I don't know. So you're right with the shade. I do not have any issues talking for 30 minutes in a row. But then when we're doing it every single day, it's like, I don't know. So Mr. Riley says, do you have enough topics for the first 20 to 30 days? I mean, I do, right? Because it's kind of like if I just live stream it instead of doing a YouTube video, I can kind of do whatever it is. So whether it's my notability, how I take notes and how I organize myself, whether it's something on comparing the Rode wireless go-tos with the boom mic, right? I have stuff that's written down that I want to do content for. So I absolutely have at least the topics. But then, for me, because that can be the thing, right? That can be the thing where it's like, well, do I do the live streams? Will that take place of the video? And do I not do the videos, or will it be in supplement of the videos? So yeah, is it going to be topical or topical mixed with random or just random or whatever's on your mind? That's a great question. And with what I'm thinking, it'll probably be a topical mix with random. And I say that because I think that's right, that other side of me, that the imposter syndrome for the most part, right? If we're really going to get, I have entered this book in the challenge. Great. This is what I get for opening up my mouth. Let me move this over a little bit and let's do this. Let me just bring it back up so we can get things all aligned and stuff. There you go. I like that. Great. So Paul is saying that now he has entered me in this challenge. But yeah, so it's like, okay, can I do it? Can I not do it? What happens when you get, and I know, and it's so funny. I've been meaning to reach out to Chris Wood, because I know Chris was doing it. Chris would jump on and so going back to the imposter syndrome, there's a lot of different things I feel like with me, with what's happening with this challenge. It's, can I do it? Number one, right? Will it make sense? What's the value I'm going to bring to the community? Do I have 100 days worth of value to bring to the community? Right? Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate you. And all of these things, and I'm not saying that any of these things are right, but this is what happens when you have imposter syndrome, when you have anxiety, when you have that self-doubt and the self-deprecation. You won't know if you can or if you can't unless you try. And that's with everything. You're 100% right. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing today, boo? So the imposter syndrome in me and the self-doubter in me is, what value can I bring? How hard will it be? Will I be consistent enough? And I don't need to overcomplicate it. That's why I said 15 minutes, 30 minutes tops, unless, we end up having a really good live stream where people are engaged, because I know that that's going to happen. It's not always going to be quick. It's not always going to be short. That also depends on the community and how the flow is going. But But that's, I think, and so that's the biggest fear. It's the fear of the unknown. But then going back to exactly what Paul is saying is that fear of the unknown is that I'm not going to know until I try it, until I do it. And the fact that now I feel like extremely committed, right? Paul is putting on his boot because it means he's going to kick me in the ass to really, because he can see that I'm fighting this, but it's something I really want to do. And that's where I'm at. That it's like, okay, so it's already, the bug has gotten me. And thank you, Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie. I'm blaming him 100%. Completely his fault. People have done it, right? Like we do it for whether they do it for Vlogmas, whether they do it for Veda vlogging every day in April or in August, or maybe both. But, you know, people do it. I've seen random challenges where people have just challenged themselves. And I've always been like, yeah, no, not going to happen. And I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it last year. That's without a doubt. I wouldn't have been able to do it because I had too much going on and I wouldn't have been able to commit. But now with me being back and streaming, you know, consistently, I've missed 1 or 2 weeks here and there. And that was another reason, right? Because I didn't stream last weekend. And so it's like, all right, this has been the thought process. If you're going to be in, then you're going to be in. It's not like you're going to just be half in the water and half out the water. If you're going to do this and you're recommitting and you are going to work on your consistency, because that's the biggest thing with consistency. It's keeping on going when it's hard or when you don't have anything to do, or anything to say, that it's easier to be like, oh, I'm not going to do it today. There's no reason, or whatever the case may be. That's where your discipline really is being put to the test. Yeah, I think I need to do this. So what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's the 6th. I was thinking, do I start it on like an even day on one of those numbers? Do I start it on the 10th? Do I start it on the 15th? I'm looking at the calendar. I don't have the calendar open. Let me see. Let me look at my phone really quick. So the 6th, what is the 10th? The 10th is what, Thursday probably? Yep, the 10th is Thursday. The 15th is Tuesday, right? So it's like, okay. And I think this is just another way to deflect and make excuses, because then I did have a manager once. Exactly that. I had, hold on, let me get control of my mouse again. Exactly. All right, guys. But I did have a manager once. I get the hint that it was something that I didn't, back when I used to work in Radio Shack, he had asked me if I had done whatever it was, one of the things. And I said, no, not yet, because the deadline hadn't passed. So I was like, no, not yet. I'm going to handle it tomorrow. I probably had another hour worth of the day or whatever. The day wasn't completely over. Whatever, Paul. But he did ask me, and then I said, no, I'm going to handle it tomorrow. I'm going to do whatever it was. And the one thing that resonated with me was he said, why put off to do something tomorrow that you can do today? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Do you understand how much better you'll feel if you have time to do today and you have no valid excuse and no valid reason to put it off for tomorrow? Why? Just get it done today. You have the time, you have the resources, right? Like, he went through all of these things and I was just like, okay. And that was that was about probably 15 years ago. And so now I bring that up because here we are, you know, and you guys are telling me it's the same thing. I'm talking about, oh, I'll start on the 10th or I'll start on the 15th. And it's always, or even like, you know, when they do that a lot, when it's the end of the year and people start doing their New Year's resolutions, and probably the most popular New Year's resolution is losing weight or going to the gym or eating healthier. And it's at some point in December. Maybe some people even start in November, right? And they're like, oh, I'll January 1st. And it's so funny because I started going back to doing CrossFit in December. And that was the reason why, because I was like, well, why would I wait until January? First of all, the gyms are going to be packed. All the boxes are going to be packed, right? Like, it's going to be crazy. And why wait? Why can't I start? So now I am talking myself out of why would I wait till March 10th, or why push it back to March 15th? I can start tomorrow. So it seems like I have my work cut out for me. It seems like I've committed to the community, to you guys already. I'm going to start this challenge 100. I'm going to reach out to Gretchen and I'm going to ask her if she has any tips and tricks and what was, I guess, pain points and what was high moments and what were the low moments. I want to see what she has to say. That's so funny. But I think I'm going to do it. I'm like 90. I'm like right here. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to start tomorrow. I just got to figure out then if I start tomorrow, I got to see the time. It's so much easier to give advice to others. Right, exactly. It's so much easier to tell. And that's like a human nature kind of thing, right? It's so much easier to tell everybody else, well, you should be doing this and this is what it is and this is the way to do it. But then when it comes to the application of you doing it on your own, you in a whole nother ball game. Hey, K-Walk. Yeah. What's cracking, K-Walk? How are you doing today, ma'am? Nice to see you here. Thanks for coming through. Let's see. Different scenes, different angles. My little guest check here. This was, and Steve from Scart Glass is going to get so mad at me because he created this for me as a housewarming gift when I first moved in. And I have to do a video for it so he can talk about the process. It's basically the Brooklyn Bridge, and it says "you're" under it. It's a very pretty piece. I love it, and I put it there because obviously representation of me. But yeah, all right. So 100 days of live streaming. One of the other things that I did want to talk to you guys about, and I wanted to share with you guys. Some of you guys know. I talked about it last year and then life happened and I fell off the face of the earth and then I came back. I've always wanted to do, I've been meaning to plan to do a Stream Deck masterclass where I am going to break down almost everything that there is to know about the Stream Deck masterclass. Hey, Ops, what's cracking from the Honduras? How are they? Is everything okay? What's the time frame there? Of course, for you, you're, Obs. Yeah. What's cracking? How are you? But thanks for coming through. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought because I should have a squirrel emoji that I should just throw on and off of the screen, right? For when I get distracted, and then make some sort of squirrel noise to help keep me on track. That's so funny. Oh, talking about the Stream Deck Masterclass. So I know I spoke about it and I was promoting it and there was a good amount of interest last year. And then just with buying a house, I ended up switching banks. I was recruited, started working for another bank, and it was just so much. Just buying a house and moving in. First of all, it was a new state, a new city, going from being a renter to a homeowner. That in and of itself was a huge life change. And then throw in switching, I kept the same career, so I'm still in the same career field, but then working from one organization to another where you have to establish yourself again and make new introductions because people are used to you working from that organization and now you're in this organization and, talk about the new sales and products. That was a lot for me last year. And then plus I started dating this beautiful girl here. And so, nurturing the relationship, I just had to get her hook, line, and sinker. So it doesn't matter now. We're dating a year and she knows that I'm crazy. So I got her reeled in. But that was another thing that I wanted to make sure. So lots of personal, positive, great, amazing things that as much as I wanted to do the Stream Deck class, it just wasn't the time for me. So now here we are. It's about to be, oh my God, guys, I bought my house. I closed on April 30th. So first of all, that's huge. I can't believe. So what's today? Today's March 6th. I actually, on March 13th, yeah, that's about right. On March 13th last year is when I came to see the house, this listing with my realtor. We put the offer in on March 15th. The offer was accepted on March 15th and we closed in exactly 45 days. So we closed on April 30th. And let me tell you something, and I do this as a profession. You guys know that I do this as a profession, as a loan officer. The amount of stress that I went through in those 45 days. But it's about to be a year. I closed on my home 1 year ago. It's already been a year that I started the house hunting, that whole thing. And it has been a great whirlwind And so now I'm settled, got my studio. You guys all love my studio. I never hit play. My cool background and stuff like that. And now I'm ready to kick off some masterclasses and really start. You see that I'm back live streaming consistently. I've been working on uploading at least one video a week, one video every other week. I'm almost done. Finally. Hey girl, hey, what's going on, boo? How are you doing? I was just talking about Lakeland Bank and stuff like that. This was one of my besties, one of my homies. We have been working together back from when I worked at TD Bank. And she recruited me. She's the one that helped me transition to being a loan officer and helped me grow and develop. So that's my homie. I got to do this for you, yo. Yeah. What's cracking? How are you? Let's get back over here. Brother of a certain age says you're a real estate investor, so you definitely know the stress of getting right. And so it's so funny because you're a real estate investor. So, you do it, and it's still like us being seasoned and even helping out other clients and like going through it. You do it for yourself, and it's still. And so me and Angie spoke about this, and she brought it up, and she was like, listen, do you think that maybe you're more stressed? Is your stress, and this can be applied in anything, even with us as content creators and stuff like that. Is it a higher level of stress because you know the process and you know the ins and outs? So you know every possible outcome, good, bad, ugly, and different. Or is it just because? And I think that was like a detriment, being a loan officer and knowing the process as much as I did, that I think I was way more stressed than, let's say, someone who was ignorant. And I don't mean that in a negative connotation, but someone who's ignorant that is just relying on their loan officer, their realtor, and maybe an attorney to help them throughout the process. When you are in it, because then you want to control everything. And you guys know that I love to control stuff, and not being able to control the stuff, like really just letting your hands go and saying, all right, you guys got this. Oh my God. Those were like, and I don't want to say the worst 45 days because they weren't, but there were things that happened that shouldn't have happened, went wrong. And we still made it happen. 45 days. Anyway, love you too, girl. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes, OBS, you closed in January of last year. Oh, I didn't realize that it was a whole year. So you've been in your house a little bit over a year. I thought you closed on your house this year. So how was that journey? And I know you're in Atlanta, right, OBS? Let me know. Yes, sellers are getting some disrespectful, right? Like what? Like that's a whole, listen, we can talk about that. That's a whole nother live stream. Maybe that'll be one of my 30-minute live streams. See, look, you're giving me topics for 100 days of live streaming to talk about the market and the economy and stuff. As long as I'm not talking about specific interest rates, you just gave me a whole bunch of stuff that I can talk about. Oh my God, Steve, I was literally just talking about you. I swear to God, and you can ask the rest of the group, and somebody must have called you. So now I feel like, who's the spy in the group who called Steve? Because I was literally just saying that you were going to yell at me and you probably hate me because you sent this to me probably almost a year ago, because it was, I think, in the summertime I got this, and I've been promising you that I've been gonna make a video on it so you can put it and all of that stuff. And I feel like it was this guy. I feel like he called you because he's a spy, and I know it. But don't hate me. I'm gonna get it this week. The amount of times that I have told Steve that I'm going to get him that video this week, I just feel like an ass. There's no other way, I'll be honest with you. So I take accountability, and I just, and it gets to the point, again, with anything, and this stuff applies with anything. It gets to the point where when you make so many commitments, and this is with relationships, this is with work, this is with us as content creators, you talk. And then words only become so much. So it's like, you know what? I've had enough. Actions speak louder than words. And so I get to the point where I stop talking about it because I know that I'm done. Yeah, your ears must have been burning. Like I swear to God, because it was, if you go back, you'll see me pointing to it. And I just had a whole thing that I was like, oh my God, Steve is going to kill me. So I'm going to stop talking about it and I'm just going to do it. And then you'll have it and you're not even going to know. And I'm finally going to follow through. But anyway, let me go back to some of the chats. Paul says doing it every day for someone else is a routine. When you are the one that's going through the process, it's your personal stress. That is so true. Oh my God. And look at Angie chiming in because Angie knows all of the things. I did have such a hard time. And Angie was like my go-to all the time. Naturally, we talk all the time. But with the home purchase, and you know what? Sometimes it is to go through it from that perspective, because when you're being put in those shoes, it shed light, right, on a different aspect where what I did say, and I spoke to my realtor about this, I said, man, I thought that I was empathetic prior to this. I feel like I've shown my clients nowhere near enough empathy and understanding their stress. I need to work on that because going through that, and I'm a professional and I know like, oh yeah, the appraisal came back, there were issues, but this is how we fix it. A customer who is ignorant towards it, and again, this is any one of us. You can apply this. All of you guys can apply this. Someone who's ignorant because they're not the subject matter expert. We are. And we're telling them, hey, here's this red flag or here's this potential problem. Their anxiety levels go from here to here. And it's our responsibilities as the subject matter experts to really help bringing their anxiety down. And that takes a skill set, I will say, to really say, okay, I understand. I'm not going to take this personally, whether it's their attitude, whether it's their assertiveness, their controllingness, right? Like, I'm not going to take this personally. I understand where you're coming from. How can I simplify this process? I absolutely am nowhere near as, I feel like I've gotten better and there's still room to grow. But last year or the year before that, I was nowhere near as empathetic as I should have been until I went through that process. So let's go back to the chats. Yes, it was at 6-7 years ago was a half a year. Listen, 45 days. And exactly, right. It was every day like, oh my God, there's this. And oh my God. And it was either an issue or it was clear to close. And then it was also because you guys know buying a house is not cheap. And so it was like, wait, do I have enough money? And what's it? And then listen, we're not going to relive that stress. We are not going to relive that stress. Anyway, Paul says it wasn't me, but if there's a self-destruct in the piece of art that you haven't done it will self-destruct, right? That was, Steve probably put something in there. He's like, he has some sort of, and he used to be in the military for those of you guys that don't know. So Steve probably has some sort of chip that he was listening in on me that would self-destruct. He scheduled it to self-destruct when I finally get him that video. Anyway, right? It's like, I wasn't going to walk away because I was getting a really great deal, but it was for me, it was, oh my God, I'm getting such a great deal. I can't have this deal not fall through. And so it was kind of reverse where I didn't want my anxieties to increase, or they did increase because like my seller agreed to give me a seller's concession, which covered $8,000 of my closing costs. Listen, for those of you guys that know, ain't nobody getting $8,000 from a seller's concession of closing costs. And you guys see my house. My house is in great condition. I mean, God was on my side. So when there were things that were happening that shouldn't have happened, all I wanted to do was control it from a loan officer's perspective. And then it was, this deal has to go through. Like, this has to work. This has to work. That was the mentality. This has to work. And that of, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, or if the timing is not right. And we can apply that in context, even from a content creator's perspective. Doc, when he starts his streams every week now, Doc talks about your excuse is valid, right? 100%. Your excuse is valid. And it may not be an excuse. It may be a justification. It may be a very real thing, but it's how do you work around it? And so last year I had excuses. That timing wasn't right for me. I had a lot of stuff going on and I was trying. And for those of you guys that have been my supporters since, the year before that, knew that I was trying, and I would come on and, I bought the house and I was, all right, we're going to do a studio tour and all of that stuff. And then it just got to the point where I had to really settle with that reality and say, this is not the time for me right now. And that's okay. And I needed to be okay with that. A big part of it was the commitment. And that's how Paul and I became really good friends throughout the process, because I would commit and then Paul would check up on me every week or so, every few days. You know, he would say, hey, are you streaming? What's happening? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? And I would say, yeah, right. And so, but what did that do? That was, I felt like, oh my God, I have people that are relying on me. So I need to do this. I need to find a way to make it work. And that was detrimental for me. That wasn't, and not in a crazy bad way. But then what happens was that I was doing a half-ass job of content creation, or not consistently live streaming. First of all, I didn't do any videos, right? I think the last actual video that I did was with Robert Kennedy III. And that was when I was still living in my brother's house in Pittsburgh. So let me see if I close. So basically, and we can narrow it down, I think it was like in February or March, I did that video, and then I didn't do any videos at all. And then I tried to live stream, and then what does that mean? So as a content creator, I was doing a half-assed job because my excuse was valid, but I wasn't ready to come to terms with that excuse. So when Doc talks about that on Saturdays, right, that's twofold. So it's, okay, your excuse is valid. What are you going to do about it? So the majority of the time you should, find a way. And I'm always, another thing that I learned when I was at Radio Shack that I apply in everyday life is, don't come to me with the problems, come to me with the solutions, right? And even for me, in my perspective, okay, so this is the problem. Great. What's the solution and how do we get around this? Sometimes there is no solution. Sometimes you have to just sit in it and accept it for what it is. Because sometimes the solution is, this is not the time for me. This is not for me at all, depending on what it is, right? And you got to be okay with that. And that's kind of where I was at last year, where the timing wasn't for me. And I was trying so hard. And I didn't want to let it go. And then finally, I think it was maybe in August, I feel like I did some streams here and there. I would leave, be gone for a week and then come back. And then finally in August, I did whatever live stream it was. And then I stopped completely. I don't think I started live streaming again. I don't know if I live streamed at all at the tail end of 2022. I think I came in once or twice or whatever. And then when 2021 rather. And then when 2022 came around, it was like, okay, I'm back. Right. And then it was the jokes. Paul was one of them. Doc was Keith Pelzer was one of them, that it was the jokes of, this is not really India. Right. Because I would like come in and come out. But what did that do? That really didn't do much for me of doing the half-ass in, half-ass out. It's like, listen, you're either in or you're out. And so fast forward, here we are now. And that's another reason why I'm challenging myself. And I thought about this 100 days worth of live streaming, 100 consecutive days of streaming, was because of everything that I went through last year and how I was in and out, and now how I've started again this year. I'm proud. I will say I am proud of my growth. I'm proud of my progression of where I've been and what I've been doing now in the first 3 months of the year versus what my last year looked like. Hey, Joel, not Joel. I'm used to saying Joel, but Joel. And Joel, come over to YouTube. You know better than that. Joel says, calling it an excuse might not be the core of what was going on. Choosing to prioritize something else isn't necessarily wrong, depending on your big picture. See, I should have just read his comment sooner before I went into that whole rant. Because exactly that, right? It wasn't necessarily an excuse. It was prioritizing, but understanding that, right? So exactly what Joel said, understanding and prioritizing. Right now, the content creation and live streaming and things like that has to be put on a back burner because I'm not ready yet. And what does that mean? And I think that that's even important. Recognizing that I wasn't ready at the time is also important for people like you guys as my community, because I would have been doing you guys a disservice that if I'm not ready and I'm giving you half-ass content, whether it's every other week or, just whatever it was, I'm wasting your time because you're choosing to be here on the live stream and hanging out with me, right? So I've been working on being more consistent every weekend in the evenings and things like that, and even having stuff that's planned out to talk about. And if it took a lot, but I think that takes real growth and real maturity to understand that it's not about me, right? And a lot of the popular content creators that we consider mentors in our community say that it's not about me. Right? It's not about the actual content creator. It's about your community and understanding that. So we're talking about this, bringing it back full circle, that I spoke so much about the Stream Deck, and I'm going to do a masterclass and all of that stuff. And I wasn't ready. But now it is coming. Dum, dum, dum. So I signed up for Kajabi. See, this is why I did the overhead camera. So if we do this, let's see. So, that doesn't sound too bad. It's still not my Lewitt, but it doesn't sound as bad. Well, you guys be the judge, let me know. And of course, the moment I start speaking is the moment that the HVAC comes on. But I signed up for Kajabi thanks to Kali Chocolate Twist Yoga. On February 22nd, they gave a free 2-month trial. So if you missed out, that's unfortunate. I know that she put it in the Discord community, and I finally signed up for a 2-month free trial. And I said, you know what? That is going to put a fire up my butt, right? Because now I'm not paying for 2 free months. I need to make this happen. I need to capitalize and really put myself out there, because then shame on me if I chose to now make this step and not capitalize and do everything I needed to do within these first 2 months so that I can get everything up and running. That's one of the stuff that I know that I'll be talking about over the next, probably 100 days worth of live streaming. I'm amazed at the Kajabi website. If you guys are at the options, so I've never really looked into it. You hear about Kajabi, you hear about whatever it's Thinkific and stuff like that. I think that for me personally, a big part of not really, I guess, doing more research was because the pricing is initially off-putting because it's a large per month. Listen, their starter plan, their cheapest plan is $150 a month. Then it's $200, and then it goes up to $400 a month. That's not something, right? That is like a grocery bill, a cell phone bill, depending on how many people. For me, that's $150 is a grocery bill because it's one person, right? But that's not something to like shrug your shoulders at. But of course, now that I have it for free, the amount of things that you can do from within Kajabi. So they give you, obviously, that's a hosting site where you can host your masterclass. They provide you the ability for your own website. So I had nothing. Like the only thing I had is my Facebook page, my Facebook business page that is pretty much, I don't use it. I'm trying to now start getting active with it again. The YouTube page, that's the most popular. The second most popular are my 2 Instagram pages. I started using Twitter again. I'm trying to be active with that, but that's it. I didn't have a website. I don't have a blog. I don't have anything like that. So Kajabi gives you, for that base price of $150, it gives you your own website. You can sell 3 different products or list up to 3 different products depending on what it is that you're looking to do. A masterclass or a mini course, those are considered products. They also have, you can create your own community on there and your own membership. You can list coaching sessions, one-on-one coaching sessions, and you can also do your own. They're also a podcasting host site. So now here's the things to take into account, right? If you're only going to use one of those things, definitely, right? So if you need something for podcasting, you can use a free place like Anchor, or even use something much cheaper or, more inexpensive, such as Buzzsprout or something, right? The same thing, if you want a membership, you can start off with something like Buy Me a Coffee, which is free, or even Mighty Networks. So depending on what you're looking to do and how many of those things you're looking to take advantage of, it may not be worthwhile. However, if you're in a situation like me that I have a buy me a coffee, but really the community is not as active, right? There's no membership. You can become a member, but I'm literally starting from scratch and I want all of those things. That's the key thing. I've wanted a website. I've wanted to do a blog. Definitely wanted to host my master classes. So when I started looking and seeing, and it's fairly easy. So you do have to build out your website. They have templates and stuff that you can do. Of course, you can go to like Fiverr. You can hire people to build out the websites for you. So depending on how amazing you want it to look or how, starter you want it to look, you can do it on your own. A great community. So they do their own live webinars once you become a customer. They do have their own YouTube channels. Depending on the tiers, they either have 24/7 chat support that they can help you, or they have 9 to 5 if you're on the starter tier, right? So depending on what you're looking to do, and again, looking at it from a pricing perspective, that initial pricing could create that sticker shock to turn you away. However, if you're looking to take advantage of everything and if you really put pedal to the metal, it can be worthwhile. So this is what you're looking at here. I did put the link in the description. So right now it is a coming soon. I have everything on the back end set up in terms of the outline. I'm in the process of recording the videos right now. There are some minor tweaks and adjustments that need to be made, like my about page needs to be done. My contact me page needs to be done. But for the most part, the main page of the website is done. The storefront is done. I am going to start off with a Stream Deck masterclass and some some opportunities for one-on-one coaching and personalization of the Stream Deck. And then I'm looking to grow it from there. So the website is indiad.live, or to sign up, the landing page so that you can be notified is indiad.live/sign up. The link is in the description below. So if you are interested, I know that people have shown interest and wanted to be a part of the masterclass. I would greatly appreciate it. Of course, if you can sign up and show support. Let me get back to, and Paul's already on it. I've been talking, and Paul has already handled it. So I love you, my good sir. Thank you very much. You're amazing. Let's see. So Steve says, ignorance is not a bad context. It really is just a lack of knowledge. 100%, right? It's sometimes you hear when people say ignorant, and it can have, right? And a lot of times when you're using it in a certain context, it does have that negative connotation, but it's not always necessarily negative. Sometimes it really just is that you're ignorant, meaning a lack of knowledge. The way you said, you don't know what you don't know. When you say stupid, that's a different story. So I 100% love that, Steve. Thank you so much. 10K towards a new roof at closing. Right, that's great. So that was a seller's concession. That seller really wanted to sell. How long ago was that? That's the other thing, because that's what I mean in the market now. Because where are we? Let me just go back to the comment here. A brother of a certain age, he's an investor now. And the market now in the last year, because people are overbidding, sellers don't need to really give a seller's concession to make a sale go. Because chances are there's someone else. They probably in one day will get 10, 15 offers depending on the house. Unless you have a really good seller who has some sort of ethics. I think I got lucky with my seller. Listen, when it's for you, it's for you, right? That's what I'm going to say. So K-Walk says, run your race, your pace, honor where you are in your life, and do you. That is huge. Thank you so much, Simply Obbs. I appreciate you. Did you like that scream? Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. So let's go back here. So let's see. Hey, look at who's in the cool kids club. Hey, Joel. Thank you for coming over to YouTube. I appreciate you. Choosing to do less takes courage, but leave space to get much more done. Ooh, so that's kind of like, I don't want to say an oxymoron, but it is sometimes. A lot of people, that's good, because a lot of people will put a lot on themselves, and I do that. I will be the first one. So the one thing I'm good at is I am good at like self-reflection, and I know where my opportunities are. I know what I can do better. I know where my room for improvement is. And I am absolutely the opposite of this sometimes, where I go, 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 go. I do more, do more, do more. And and I end up overdoing it. I exhaust myself. I overcommit, right? Oh, and that's just not healthy overall. And you're right. And that's the one thing in my last 3 or 4 years, as I've started to get closer to 40. But 40, right? 40 is the new 20 or whatever they say. Listen, is great. But as I've matured and as I've continued to really become wiser, I've recognized that I need to learn how to say no. It's okay to say no, understanding a different level of self-love and self-care. And we spoke about that a few weeks ago, really understanding all of those things. And exactly this, doing less really takes more courage. But then if you do less, it gives you more room, because if I take a little bit at a time, that little bit will chip away at blocks. So that's I love that. Steve says 100 days of streaming is a major commitment. That's awesome. Yes, I have anxiety. I'm anxious about it. But Paul has already put his boot on, and Paul says that I've committed to this challenge, and so now I'm doing it starting tomorrow. And like a part of me wants to cheat and be like, is today day one? But I'm not going to count today because I've had this planned. This was my normal live stream. I knew that I was going to do this. So it is not, today doesn't count. Tomorrow counts, and we're going to get straight into it. So what I need to do is I need to look on the calendar. Let me do this with you guys now. So 90 days from tomorrow is March 7th, May 7th, June 7th. And then if we do another 7 to 14 is 7 days. And so we're going to call it, I'm just going to call it even on June 19th, because I think I'm going to keep my stream to Sunday nights. I'm going to write this down to commit to myself with you guys. So we're going to say that at least we're going to stream every day through June 18th, which will be over 100 consecutive streams. So let me write this down. Be over 100 consecutive. Oh my God, that's a big commitment. I'm going to put this up on my Instagram and all of the socials, but we're doing it this way. Yes, June 18th. That is it. I've committed. I'm going to put this here. Gonna take a picture of that. All right. Okay. 7 years ago. Yeah, the market is totally different now. Toyota days, we always said you sometimes have to slow down to speed up. That's good too. And that's 100%, right? Like, and a lot of people don't get that. And I think it's, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but as you get older, I don't know, we're just stupid and crazy when we're younger. And not that everybody is, but I think that the majority of the people are stupid and crazy when they get older. And so, hey, I'm back with the much better sounding microphone. But the shit that we do when we're young, right? Like, it's like we don't get it. And then we start to get older, and then we're like, man, was I dumb? And then you look at life differently and you handle life differently. So 100%. A brother of a certain age says it is literally like a battle royale in the current market, battle royal. But I have a business plan. So if it steers away from what I expect as far as return on investment or net cash flow, I'll walk away from it. Right. So definitely. But that's the thing with exactly what Joel was saying about taking courage. I think naturally, sometimes we just push ourselves so much to do more that it's very hard for us to recognize and letting go and walking away. And I think that that's a psychological thing. Man, I wish Carlos would have stayed. I know Carlos would have had really good points tonight to talk about from, a psychoanalyst standpoint. But I think that that's a psychoanalyst thing, right? Like just pushing yourself, like I can't give up. If at least that's if you have that trait. I absolutely have that trait that I am not, I mean, I have perseverance tattooed on my arm over here because I'm all about persevering. I will not give up. I'm like grit. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to execute. Like that is all, those are all words to describe India. And being able to understand that walking away from something is not always failure. Still learning that, still walking through that because all about that. Turning 40 in 2020 was a beast. At 42, I think it's freaking awesome. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. We've spoken about this a few times already. I'm excited. I'm excited for what I have planned with the website. I'm going to try to, and a lot of it is making sure that I am focused and have a plan, right? And I have a structure. I want to take advantage of the blog. So turning some of my live streams or turning my videos into blog posts. I've been looking at Jarvis, honestly, again, and it's all commitments of like, those are all monetary commitments and understanding that. And that's been a big part of, okay, well, do I really want to do this? Because I'm, and I don't want to, I think we said this in one of the streams. It was either one of my streams or a stream that I was on or something. One of us in the community spoke about you're cheap for certain things, but then for other things, you're not cheap. And I think that's a human nature thing too, right? So let's talk about it with cycling, with my bikes. My road bike that I have, my Trek, that is a $3,000 bike. It's $3,100 to be exact. When you get shoes, my shoes are like another $200, my cycling shoes. The pedals were another $100. My helmet was another $100. Your kit, your gear, right? Like, and I won't go into all of it, but like bibs, the shorts, the pants, the suspender pants with the chamois, the cushion, a really good quality pair of bib shorts is about $175 to $225. And if you're a cyclist, you have more than one pair. And the jerseys are $100 to maybe $175 for each jersey. I have multiple jerseys. I have multiple bib shorts. I have bib tights, the longest ones. I have 4 pairs of cycling shoes. I have one helmet. I've been thinking about another helmet, but I don't know if Angie's still listening. So we're not going to talk about what I've been thinking about. The only thing she knows that I've been thinking about adding is another bike, a gravel bike, which is probably going to be another $2,000 on the lower end of a gravel bike because I do love road cycling. But why am I saying this? Because we are cheap for certain things. So like I'm talking about, oh, do I want to pay for Jarvis? Jarvis is expensive. Like, but then I walk into the Trek store or I walk into REI and I'll drop $200 on a light that, I justify it, right? For me. So what's expensive, what's not or whatever, right? Exactly. You're riding a used car. That is so true. Just even $3,000, you can buy a hoopty for $3,000. And last summer I went and dropped $3,100 on a new bike when my Specialized bike, the fork cracked or whatever. And I bought it the same day once we found out that, so here's, and I say this because about making decisions. We found out that I couldn't repair my fork on the bike, the Specialized bike. And so I asked her, it was, you know what? I'm going to say it was a split decision. There wasn't too much thought that went into it. So we found out that Specialized no longer makes the fork. We couldn't find it. It had been in the shop for about 3 or 4 weeks. So I've been putting it off. And then they had some bikes there. And I said to her, wait, huh? You're not still listening. No. You can go take care of the kids. You're good. But I said to the girl at the Trek stop to Ellie, I said, you don't have a bike in my size, do you? Because you guys who do cycle, the shortage of everything, but the cycling shortage has been crazy. It's been getting better now, but the last 2 years was horrible. And so I was convinced they weren't going to have a bike in my size. And she said, actually, we do. And she busted out my Imonda in just my size. She was like, here we go. And I was like, well, how much is that? And she was like, well, $3,100. I said, what? And I was there holding my card like this. But I couldn't ride my bike anymore. So it becomes, what's the value? I couldn't ride my bike anymore. How did I justify it? I said, well, I need to close on a few more loans. And if I close on a few more loans within the next month or two, this will pay for itself, right? That's the first thing. And then the other thing, so here's where it comes full circle with when you're investing in stuff for yourself as a content creator. The other reason why I didn't flinch as much, which is still true to this day, is that I knew that I was going to use that bike. That although I was dropping money on it and I was going to almost deplete my savings, and listen, you're not going to give me any financial lectures. I'm brutally honest with you guys, but I pretty much depleted my savings. I knew that I was going to capitalize and use it and take full advantage of it. So now here this goes back to what I was saying about Kajabi, or even if we're talking about, it's not called Jarvis anymore, it's called Jasper, but you guys know what I'm talking about. That if I would have paid for it, prior, I wasn't ready to take advantage of all of the features. So then I would have been throwing money away, right? And so now here we are, that although I'm on a free trial, I know that I'm going to pay that $150 a month, because I'm going to be capitalizing on almost, not everything, but on almost every tool that's available for me within that website. Because then what's the return on the investment? If I'm giving a masterclass, it pays for itself, right? So it's this structure that I'm going to put in place. The same thing with cycling. I knew that I was going to use my bike all the time, and I did. I mean, in the first year, I rode, I think, like 600 miles or something altogether in just a few months. But actually, last year I almost did, I think it was like 800 miles. I was like just short of 1,000 miles. And that was because I hurt myself in September. I had to stop riding. Had I not stopped riding in September, I actually would have done 1,000 miles last year, which is huge for a new cyclist. But then the return on the investment for me was that I felt amazing. My endorphins were going. I was getting healthier. I was losing weight, right? So for us as content creators, it was the same exact thing, where if I use all the tools available for me in Kajabi and I start bringing in cash flow, then it pays for itself. Then I'm building my community. So what's the return on my investment? But it starts with me. It starts with me really making that commitment and having a structure and really understanding everything that I'm walking into and being committed to that. And so again, full circle, that's where this 100 days worth of live streaming comes in, that I'm like, no, I'm going to test my endurance. I'm going to put my test of commitment and dedication and consistency out there. And I'm going to make this happen, because if I said that this year in 2022, that I'm going to be a better content creator, a more consistent content creator. And for the people that support me, you guys support me for a reason. I add value to you in some shape or form. It's my responsibility to continue to add value, and I need to put myself out there. So let me go back to some comments. And Paul says, walking away from something is not a failure if you've learned something. You see, Paul, but that's because you're an old man now, and you're giving us all these old man adages. So, I love you. You can say those things. Coño. Hold on. Where's my coño?
Coño.
You can say all of those things, but you're 100% right. And I'm learning that now as I am getting older, and I'm really experiencing different areas of life, that it's like, I learned something. So what? It was okay. I'm walking away from something. Yes, you have a car. Yeah, I know. You have a Specialized. What do you have? I know, because you have a Robay. And those are not cheap. I know. Simply Up says, yes, cycling is so expensive, but I'm determined. And you have a Ruby Specialized customized to make it a trike. I remember you were saying that, Balance, but yeah, the bike was $5,000. See? And so we're not going to talk about all this, right? Specialized bikes. You know what? Old man, wise. All right. Paul knows I'm messing with him because he has the boot and he's going to beat me up. So I got to mess with him too. That's what's up. Showing up for yourself. Embarrassing enough. I'm just learning that in your 48, but you're learning it, right? So that's a really, really important thing, that you are learning it, you're doing it, and at least you're starting, because all of you guys that are here know that there are people that don't ever start, or they stop and never come back. And then that's a big thing. Like for me, I started, put it down, and I came back. And that's why I love all of you guys, because look at how, dedicated you guys are and how supportive you guys are, right? So that's a big thing of having a really good community and then just continuing on from there. And again, full circle, this is why I want to make sure that I am consistent, because I have a support system, whether it's in person, like with Angie, right? Yes, Paul, as long as you know that you're an old man. Exactly. You should have changed the color. Oh, wait, if you did it in YouTube, you can't change the color tone of the emoji. But right, I have you guys as my community, and you guys are my support system for so many different things, right? Like I know that James and I, if I need something cycling, I'm going to hit him up and talk to him and stuff like that. Joel and I, we've talked on, I think I've talked to almost every single, well, except for a brother of a certain age. You're fairly new here, so thanks for the support. I appreciate you being new here. But I'm sure we'll get there too. But I think with everybody else that's in the chat, I've talked to almost every single one of you guys at some point in the last year and a half, individually, one-on-one, whether it's been through a Zoom call, whether it's been through Messenger or something like that, right? And it's, you guys have supported me in probably more ways that you don't even know. And my mic is doing the crazy staticky thing for whatever reason. Let's move this away. I don't know. It's something with my monitor. Okay, back. So, that's it. That's where we're at right now. I am doing the 100 days of live streaming starting tomorrow. I don't know if that should be the sound effect, or this one, or this one. I don't know. Or this one. Probably more of, that's probably what the sound effect really should have been. But I'm starting it tomorrow. Now that I've spoken to you guys and you guys have all shown your support. I don't know if it's support or it's just like, you better get that's Paul. You better get, that was Paul, right? But I'm actually excited. Just talking to you guys today and listening to, having the chats with you guys, I can, like Paul said early on, I can definitely find something to talk about for at least 30 minutes. I'm probably going to do it. So if we're doing 30 minutes, I would say a safe bet is every evening, anywhere between 7 and 8 o'clock at some point. I'll do what I normally do. I'll create the post. I'll share it in our communities, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I do all of that good stuff. If you did not sign up, thank you, Paul. Again, he put that in the stream. If it is something that you're interested in, definitely check it out. It's indiad.live/sign up, and then you'll get alerted. I am going to be doing a handful of different classes, but we're starting off with the masterclass, the Stream Deck masterclass. I will tell you guys that with the outline that I have so far, the outline that I have is going to be, oh, there you are. The outline that I already have about 20 different classes that we're going to be doing and capitalizing on. So very beginner basic stuff on the Stream Deck of the plugin store, customizing your icons, the music store, bringing in smart devices, then getting into more of intermediate things like multi-actions and opening up apps and doing one thing with another. And then even taking it a step further of using the most popular plugins. Like there's going to be a class just for Ecamm and the Stream Deck, right? With switching scenes, using the Stream Deck pedal, things like that. I'm probably going to do one on Zoom, on OBS and things like that. So I have the outline built out. What I'm going to be doing in the next week and a half to 2 weeks is just really recording the content. And it is a different flow of that. And let me just come back. What do we got here? Hey guys. It is a different flow of when you're recording content on Kajabi versus for YouTube, right? Because for YouTube, when you're creating content, for the most part, you're usually worried about your intro, you're worried about your hook, you have a call to action, you're getting the contents of the video, and then you're doing, you want them to come back and things like that. Where if people are there and people have signed up and paid for your masterclass, excuse me. Thanks so much, Paul. I keep losing my mouse. But if people sign up for the masterclass, you're there to learn. So I don't have to worry about fluffing the video, right? I don't have to worry about an intro. You know who I am because you've signed up for the masterclass. So that eliminates time. I don't have to worry about telling you to come back to the next video, and keep your eyes out because you're going to go to the next class within the lesson anyway. So that cuts a lot of time out of with what's needed, that it's like, okay, this is how you're going to customize icons. These are different icon packs. This is how you can use your icons. And then there's different ones that are already pre-made for you. This is music. These are the most popular plugins. This is how you're going to use your plugins, right? All of those things, but it is boom, 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 boom. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks as well. Just recording all the classes for the outline and going from there. If you have any feedback, any suggestions, anything you would want to see, let me know. I am all right. Feedback is a gift. And sometimes a lot of people, that's one of the things that I did learn sooner, but it's hard. Sometimes people take feedback as negative and then they take it personally. And it's, you know what, even if it's not what you want to hear, you got to try to look at it from all different angles and find out why is this person saying this, and where is this coming from, and how can it's for a reason, right? So understanding all of that stuff. So if you do have feedback, bring it on, let me know, send me messages and stuff like that. And we are good to go. So it's been an hour. It was a good stream. You guys are amazing. I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming through and showing support. Simply Obs, thank you so much for showing support and buying me coffee. I'm going to go enjoy that. And I do have my dinner upstairs, a very unhealthy dinner. 70 degrees on the East Coast tomorrow. Joel, you're in Massachusetts, right? You're up north. You're right by Angie's house. Joel, we definitely have to link up when I go to Angie's house for a couple of weeks as the weather continues to get nice so we can hang out. We had spoke about that last year. So we're going to make that happen this year. But the weather is going to be extremely nice for us on the East Coast, the Northeast Coast, because Simply Obs, she's in Atlanta, so whatever. And then Mr. Riley and Paul, they're down on the West Coast, so it's nice anyway. But a brother of a certain age and Joel and Angie and I, we have the crappy weather, but it's supposed to be raining on Tuesday. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Tomorrow. So it's already 6. Oh my God. It's 67. The excitement. It is at 67 degrees right now. I knew it was warm. No. Listen. Do you see my excitement? I'm upset and I hope not. It is supposed to go up to 78 degrees tomorrow. Angelica, you're not gonna talk to me because I'm not gonna know how to act. So, look at this person right here. So embarrassing. This is my mother. And for those of you guys, I wish Doc Rock was here because he'd probably be able to figure out the username. My mom, oh my God. And I just told you guys, I'm turning 40 this year. Look at this lady. Her username, PR, I'm going to spell it out. PRBTRCUP. That's Puerto Rican Buttercup. Mom, why? Why? Why couldn't it just be your first and last name? Like, what? Who does this? What? Look, and she's dying laughing with the emojis. Guys, someone come get my mother. And for those of you guys that didn't know, you guys might know, you all know, I know that you all know, look, she's dying laughing. I'm so embarrassed right now. So my full name is India America with one A. You guys know all of that, right? Well, a brother from a certain age, now you know that. My full name is India America. This lady with her username, Puerto Rican Buttercup. I'm still, Mom. Oh, God. So that's how I feel. And Lauren is laughing. My mom's first name is America. So I don't know if you guys, when I was telling you guys my story with my first name and my middle name in India America, like my mom's first name. Listen, change your username, lady, and it just needs to be America. Like I don't know, whatever, but Puerto Rican Buttercup. Ay, Dios mío. And thank God Doc is not here because Doc would have had a blast with that. So we are ending the stream with that. That's how I'm going, and Simply Obs is dying laughing. I'm glad that my mother came onto the stream at the very tail end too. You like the Puerto Rican, but Paul, stop. Mom, what time is it? It's past your bedtime. You said that you were getting in I know that's been your use, but that's the problem. So my mom and I were very close in age. I have a young mother. My mom is, oh God, Mom, don't yell at me. My mom is 16 years older than me. So if I'm 40, I should know this, 40. My mom turns 56 this year in April, in a few weeks, April 25th. Stop. No. You are not a buttercup. Stop. Oh my God. Listen, this stream is about to end very abruptly right now because my mother has lost her mind. Ay, Dios. Yes, Mom, I know that you have had that username for over 10 years, and that's a problem. That's where I was going with, listen, Lauren is dying laughing. I'm stressed out right now. So if my mom, even still, Mom, you were 46 when you created that username. Like, what were you doing at 46? Like, let me see. Look. This is my mother. Hold on. Let me do it this way. Hold on. Let's do it this way. What's my username gonna be? Ooh, yes. I think Puerto Rican Buttercup. I like that. Yeah. Is that what you were like? Mom, you were 46. What were you doing, Puerto Rican? Ay, Dios. That's all I'm gonna say. That is all I'm going to say. Look at this. She put the American flags. Mom, stop. Look at everybody's dying laughing. Oh my God. I think I may have to have your mom on a live. All right. So I'm definitely cool with that. My mother owes me a trip. Hey, Gigi. See, now Gigi, why? Because you are one of the ones that loves to call me Indie America, and you came on right when my mother has come on the stream. This is my mother, Gigi, and we are literally ending the stream. But apparently people are finding this humorous, like Pirate Broadcast and Lauren and Joel and Paul. Yes, you are late, ma'am. And so my mother, yes, Saskally, I turned 40. I'm 39. I turned 40 the 4th of July. My mother turns 56 on April 25th. So she's 55 this year because we're 16 years. Stop it. No, you will not. No. Mom, get off. Get off right now. No. I don't even got to introduce your mom and my mom. She's a metalhead for reals. Oh my God, listen. Ay, Dios. You need to stop. So I will. My mother, whenever she decides, so now I'm going to throw all the shade, needs to come spend the weekend with me in Philadelphia because we're supposed to go to our favorite restaurant in Philadelphia, which is a Mexican restaurant in Center City. Stop it, Gigi. No, stop it. And so I will have my mother on when my mother is here for a weekend, Mom. So look, Paul said it. They want to see you on the stream. Haven't you learned you can't control your mother? I need to listen. I can control my mom if I just abruptly end the stream. Okay. If I abruptly. Thank you, Saskally. I appreciate it. My mother. So my mom and I look like twins. My mom is. I do tell Angie, and if Angie's still listening, she can jump in and on the chat and stuff like that. But I always say, my mom looks good at the age of 56. So when I turn 56, whoever's dating me, just look at my beautiful mother because you're going to get all of that goodness. I do say that, but I'm still stuck on this name. Like, why? Mom. So that's what I was saying, Gigi, that my mother's name, PRB, what is it? Hold on. No, you did not get here just in time. You did not. No, you got here at the wrong time. Okay. So this name, this username is PRBTR. See, and you from New York, Gigi. So you probably already, I think I am K-Walk. I think, where's my moderators? Paul, Gigi, you guys are my moderators in the group. Do something about this user right here. This user right here. This, look, I am tentatively will be in Morristown, New Jersey in April. Paul, Steve, let me know. So we're going to just ignore this lady right here. And I'm waiting for one of my moderators to block this user here. Right. She just hijacked the stream and she's not even on the stream. Get this woman, get this lady out of the stream. I want this user blocked right here. Gigi says, oh wait, Gigi says, yes, I figured it out. Puerto Rican Buttercup, why, Gigi? Whose mom does this? Who, like, oh my God, now everybody's dying. You have to have your mom. See, I don't know. Simply Olive says, you did get here right on time. You know what? I may have to have my mom on because I need to hit those 4,000 watch time hours. That might help with my watch time hours. But going back to Steve, when you're in Jersey, text me. Let me know. Because Morristown, that's South Jersey. That's right by me. So Morristown is like 15, 20 minutes away. And they have a bunch of restaurants. So we can absolutely... I'm going to ignore this woman's comments because now she's talking about I got to do my hair and my makeup. No. Steve, when you are in Morristown, it's about 15 minutes away from my house. They have a bunch of great restaurants out there. So let's link up. This lady, Puerto Rican Buttercup, I'm going to have a conversation with my moderators. Because I don't appreciate my stream getting jacked. I'm calling the police. This is crazy. You see, so what's funny, we need a guest appearance from Puerto Rican Buttercup. So what's so funny is that before the stream, we were FaceTiming and I did it to myself, unbeknownst to me. We were FaceTiming and I was like, all right, Mom, it's 6:50. I'm about to jump off the FaceTime. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to go take a shower and I'm going to go do my hair and stuff. She was like, go, we'll talk later. And I said, yeah, I'm going to get on a live stream at 7:00. You see, this is what happened. I told her my schedule and she knew how to find me. Converse all you want. I'm not moderating you, moms. I'm not moderating your mom. I'm just saying, you know what? Y'all got no loyalty to me. No loyalty. This lady, Puerto Rican, look, she says I was lurking. Who taught you this language? No, what you mean you was lurking? Can I do this? Hold on, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do for you guys real quick. So, and then we're going to call it a wrap because you guys are talking about this lady, Puerto Rican Buttercup. So let me go to my albums. Hold on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you this crazy lady. Where is this lady that is called Puerto Rican Buttercup? Hold on. Bear with me one moment, please. Un momento, por favor. And then we're going to end it on that note. Yeah, we could do this one. All right. This is what we're going to do. Look, wait, hold on. Let me see. Woo, woo. Wait, I'm looking. Hold on. All of this chat. What happened here? Morristown has a mall and plenty of food around it. Yeah, Kathy, I'm like, well, you know, because I'm in Philly. So I'm like 15, 20 minutes away. Careful. She'll take over your Kajabi account and start offering how to own India. You know what? Own India classes. You know what? My remove button seems to be malfunctioning. My mom stays lurking, so I feel your pain. Oh, see, Puerto Rican Buttercup knows what's up. Moms are not moderator. Bring the pic. A good one, though. Look at her. My mother, she says, yes, bring the pic. A good one, though. What? Moms don't come with a mute button. So let me turn on NDI right quick. Let's do this. NDI capture. So you guys can see. This is probably the most you're going to get out of Puerto Rican Buttercup. How about that? So this is this here. And then here's this. Then we're going to go over here. And then what I'm going to do is this should work. And this is how we're going to end the stream. Oh, why did it not show up? What happened here? Oh, well, it may not work. It may not work. I don't know, America Cruz. I don't know. That's weird. Why isn't my phone showing up? So let me see. Look, she's dying laughing. I bet you are dying. That's what I have to say about it. That's what I have to say. How about that? Let me see. Let me look at the cameras. That's interesting. My phone didn't show up. So let's go back. Bear with me, guys, and you guys will appreciate this. But let me see. Let me go here. Let me do this. And I'm probably going to... I bet she's... Oh, my God. So embarrassing, this lady. Can we do this? Here. Can I do this? Here. That should show up. Did that show up? Let's see. Let me see. Click to start. Ah, that's interesting. Trying to get, excuse me, the iPhone. For whatever reason, my iPhone is not. It might be a sign that it's not working. Don't tell your mom. Why, Paul? Why? Why? I am not understanding you, Paul. So let me stop this. I'm not doing a day. You laughing at my face, Gigi? Because I've read Puerto Rican Buttercup does not need her own channel. Okay? That's how I feel. How about that? She does not need her own channel. She does not need, there we are. Okay. She does not need to be, let me come back this way. Here you go. So this is the lady that we are calling Puerto Rican Buttercup. iPhone. There's my mom. Oh, wait. There's the lady. There's the Puerto Rican Buttercup. There's my mama. When we were in Paris 3 or 4 years ago, she still looks this way. Let me look at these comments. Hold on. Campaign to make mama... Stop it, K-Walk. We're supposed to be family. What's happening here? What? No. What's Puerto Rican Buttercup for moderator? Hashtag Puerto Rican Buttercup for moderator. Make mom a moderator. I would moderate for her. You know what? I can't. Yes, that's the Puerto Rican Buttercup right here. And that was when my curls were down to the middle of my back and we did a nice mother-daughter trip. So that's where we're going to leave it. You know what? We was good. Wait 10 seconds of Stacy's mom. I can't wait. She says my mom is funny. So can I tell you guys on some real, she be having me crying. I told my mom that she should do her own, she should be doing her own like TikTok channels. And you know how they do like stitching and they do like, my mom, I think would be really good. And you know what, Paul, you stop. So that is my mother. My mom is, listen, so going back to a brother of a certain age's comments. So when I was saying that when I tell Angie, listen, you want to know what I'm going to look like in my 50s? Look at this hot tamale right here because I'm going to look good. We have the same smile. If I were to dye my hair blonde, my mom has curly hair. So if I was straighten it out, listen, you know what? I know. So I do got a hot mama, but we are going to end it there because I don't trust my community. You know, I was just talking about you guys and I was just saying, hold on. Yes, Ascali, she's 56, but you know, I have to have a conversation with you guys. I was just talking about how great of a community and how supportive you guys are and how much I love you guys. And then my mother comes on the stream and y'all just all start Team Puerto Rican Buttercup. No, don't make me start talking Spanish. Ningún Team Buttercup, ningún mom for moderator, no, de nada de eso aquí en este stream de India Delgado. Este stream es de India Delgado, ¿ok? No de el Puerto Rican Buttercup. Absolutamente no. You guys are supposed to be my peoples. But I see. Obs, did it work? I don't think it worked. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I do love my mom. That's my bestie right there. She will be on. Mom, so now you have to come to Philly. You got to spend the weekend because you got to be on the show. So that's because your mother's stream doesn't matter if you claim it in English or in Spanish, because she's your mom's. We love you too. You know what? That's fine. I love you too, Mom. But you have to come so I can give you a nice microphone. You can look all pretty in the camera and we'll get you out here and have a really good time. So, all right, fam. I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow starts... now my mother's on the stream. Tomorrow starts 100 days of my streaming. I'm gonna do it in the evenings, more or less, anywhere from 7 to 8 o'clock, 8:30ish. I will be posting. I just have to look at my work schedule and what I have. So yes. Thank you. So tomorrow starts the 100 days. We're gonna stream through June 18th. I'll be doing it in the evenings. We're gonna get it 15 to 30 minute streams and we're gonna keep on. So Team Buttercup is Team India. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I love you, Mom. I'll talk to you later. Yes, we will see each other. Peace out, y'all. Good night. Nos vemos. Buenas nachos. Bye.